Daytona International Speedway. 43 cars with the green flag here today. And then let's check out the field, which is led by Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the number 8 car. Alongside him in the front row, Casey Kane, Michael Waltrip, and Bobby Hamilton Jr. will make up row number 2 this afternoon. And in row 3, Mike Bliss and Winston Cup veteran Joe Nemechek. Some other notables in the starting grid: Jason Keller and Corey Gibbs alongside each other in row number 6. Scott Riggs and Greg Biffle making up row 7 right behind them. Brad Baker and Mike McLaughlin. Harry Earnhardt will be on the inside of row number 11 alongside points leader David Green. David Keith and Shane Meal in row number 14, followed by Joey Clinton and Ron Hornaday. Brad Deacon and Lewis there in row number 17. Reagan Smith and Derek Coe. In row number 19, Donnie Neuenberger and Leonard Johnson behind them. And rounding out the field of 43, Steve Grissom as we get ready for the green flag.
100 laps around this 2.5-mile track to make up the distance tonight. Great crowd on hand capping off their Independence Weekend celebration. It's a NASCAR All-American Racing. Glad you joined us on TNT. We're down for the start.
Great.
Let's get this party started. We almost just had some early fireworks right in the middle of the pack.
A lot of smoke there. I don't know if that was tire smoke or a missed shift smoke. First 7 or 8 guys are single file already.
And that little stack up going on.
Uh-oh. And we see the 25 car, Bobby Hamilton Jr. right in the middle of Greg Biffle, Johnny Sauter.
And he's been center punched to the back bumper by someone in that little jam up going into turn 1.
And he does. He's got a lot of damage on that rear bumper there. Not that I think that'll affect too much here, but
Junior leads him around at the end of lap 1. Michael Waltrip right behind him in second. We haven't seen that before, have we? Here's the jam up going into turn 1. Watch the 21 car. I think that's where that burst of smoke came from that we saw. See, 21 Sauter had to lock up the brakes. I hope he didn't flat spot those tires.
It looked like Bobby may have missed a shift or something because he slowed down a lot in front of Joe Nemechek.
And we wonder what kind of damage that Nemechek might have on the front of the 87 car, but we can see all the damage on the rear bumper cover of Hamilton Jr.'s car.
Well, not only the rear bumper cover, BP, but the left rear fender is all crinkled up, and that will affect him in the draft. See it there?
Yes.
That's not going to help.
Parachute action going there.
It won't be too bad on new tires, but when these cars get some time on the tires, he'll have his hands full.
1-5 single file, a little space, then another 4-car draft, and a little space, then the big pack we're looking at here. That's from Joe Nemechek on the back.
Hey, Davo, how about the 21 car? Did he flat spot those tires?
Well, that's what they were worried about so far, but while he has not reported in any vibration or anything that would lead them to believe that, Butch Hilton, the crew chief, was stomping up and down as it happened because he thought that the front end of the 21 car had received damage, but now he knows it has not, and Johnny races on.
Well, the good thing about flat spot or getting on the brakes like that this early in the race is you've got a lot of rubber on your tires, so it really isn't that bad a deal as if you had 20 laps or 15 laps on the tires. Whoa, what is that? He must have a flat tire. He must have a flat tire because that car just took off up the racetrack.
There you see, we're looking at the 21 car, Johnny Sauter on the racetrack. Not sure exactly who that was, had the problem up in 1 and 2.
I couldn't tell what car it was, so I don't know if he kept going or...
Well, we'll go back and take another look at it in a second to see if we can figure that out, but that was a close call. Right now, Johnny Sauter's biggest problem isn't potentially flat-spotted tires, it's the fact that there isn't anybody down in that low lane helping him draft. Now the pack's going to kind of catch up to him from behind. is your race leader. Michael Waltrip is second. Mike Bliss is third. Ron Hornaday fourth. Casey Kane is fifth. So the second group is, by staying in line single file, drafted and caught up with that first one now. You've got Brian Vickers, Jason Keller, Stacy Compton, Brad Baker, and now Joe Nemechek trying to pull the group from 10th place up to the initial 9. All right, let's go back and take a look at that little shuffle off turn 2 just a second ago.
62 car.
There he is up on the outside wall. Larry Hollenbeck in the 62. I don't know what caused it, if a flat tire just got loose. The wall put him in bounds.
Larry out of Kalamazoo, Michigan. He's been around Michigan short track racing in the ARCA series several times, but this is his Daytona Super Speedway debut.
Well, obviously doesn't have a flat tire. He would have come in. So he may have just got up in the garbage right up there real close to the wall and got the car loose. There's a lot of rubber and dirt real close to that wall. So maybe that's what happened.
Got the good Daytona rookie lesson. So Hollenbeck soldiers on in 31st position. And bottoming out heavily, too.
The bottom of the race car hitting the racetrack. That's the sparks that you saw from underneath the 62 car. Bobby Gearhart in the white 55 car. That thing hit the racetrack hard. Really hit it hard. That might have been what caused him to get the car out of shape down in 1 and 2. Back to Junior. And they're all lined up behind him, but it doesn't seem like that anyone has the speed to try to go by.
Sultry. Isn't that a nice word there?
Very nice.
Appropriate description?
Humid would be what I use.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. has led all of the 11 laps completed so far, working lap 12 now.
These cars look like they're sliding around a lot.
Boy, they look like they're on a handful out there. Right now we have an 8-car breakaway. There's 9th, 10th. The 9th place car, Mike McLaughlin in 34, Todd Bodine, 10th and 92. And there comes David Green, the NASCAR Busch Series points leader.
The guy sliding backwards in that group is that blue car with the bright orange lower bumper on the outside, Jason Keller, the 57. Keller started in 11th position. Picked up a couple on the start, but now he's been being shuffled backwards from 7th spot, now down to 11th. And maybe more. Keller, the winner of the Busch Series race last Sunday, up on the Mile Oval in Milwaukee. Matt Yoakum, what you got?
Alan, before the race, Kenneth O'Manion, Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s crew chief, and Bobby Kennedy, Michael's crew chief, were on pit road discussing their pit stop strategy. They've already decided the fact they're going to take on only 2 tires, and they're in the window from lap 52 to 56 of when they are going to want to pit. But they also have their 2 spotters up on top of the spotter stand, side by side, Joel Edmonds and Ty Norris, to help decide when they are going to pit. This race could very well be won on pit road and not on the racetrack. Whether it's the Dream Machines pit crew or Dale Jr. who wins the battle off pit road could decide who goes to victory lane.
Today, Matt, right now, Joe Nemechek's car is running just a little bit warm. That damage that he had from running into the back of Bobby Hamilton Jr. is not affecting him too badly as far as the handling goes. Right now, they're trying to figure out on a pit stop if they're going to come in and put just tape on the car or if they're going to put an aluminum patch on there. They're hoping to get a little bit better look at the car every once in a while. When we show it on TV, make that decision.
Well, it doesn't look like a lot of damage to the 87 car.
Dave, if they were going to put tape on, is the car getting hot? You said the car is getting hot, right?
Dave, yeah, that's right, Wally. He did report in that the car's getting a little hot. Obviously, putting that over that's not going to help that situation. It'll hurt it.
That's what I was wondering. Why would they put tape on it if it was getting warm?
Yeah, just to the right of the center of the hood, the grill is knocked in a little bit on the 87 car.
Looking back at the 87 now. Rear bumper camera.
But if it made a bigger hole in the grill, it may have hit the hand a little bit, so they may want to put that tape on and get some more downforce on the front of that car.
Scott Wimmer running in 15th. Probably going to catch his breath right here.
That's Brad Baker in the 28 car that goes up and just touches the left rear. And wow, what a great job Wimmer did saving that automobile.
That was a good save. Very good save. And there's another example I was saying. These cars are sliding up the racetrack in a big four-wheel drift, it looks like.
So Wimmer hangs on and only loses a couple of spots in that exchange. That's how the big wreck starts. NASCAR Busch Series 250 miler tonight. Dale Earnhardt Jr. has led all of the 19 laps completed so far. Michael Waltrip, Ron Hornaday, Brian Vickers, Casey Kane right up behind him. On back through, Greg Biffle, Mike Bliss, Mike McLaughlin, then a gap back to a second pack where they've had a couple of anxious moments.
Well, this group here, they finally have gotten themselves in line, but we see Jason Keller alongside Ashton Lewis and Scott Riggs. Scott Riggs had to start at the rear of the field, and he's worked his way up to the 20th position.
Riggs coming into the race second in the NASCAR Busch Series Championship, 45 points behind David Green. David running in 11th now. And as Benny said, Riggs back in 20th.
And that's the 80 car behind those two is Chase Montgomery in his own vehicle. Young man.
How young, you ask? How about 19?
Very young man.
And looks it, too. That is a baby-faced race driver. Check the interval up to the lead pack. Here's the middle pack. It's Mike McLaughlin in 34. Todd Bodine, he's made a nice move on the start, up to 10th. And David Green, the championship leader, aforementioned, he's in the 37 car.
And he started back in 22nd. David Green has worked his way up to 11th.
That 3 group needs a few more cars to help them catch that front group.
David Green's looking good tonight.
He's radioed into his crew that the car is just a little bit free and that maybe the 34 car is holding him up a little bit. I can't imagine that.
And free would be a little bit loose.
Back in, swinging out farther to the right than it's supposed to.
Yeah. Now that back group is starting to catch him, and that'll help push these guys up into that first group a little bit. Although when he gets somebody behind him in the 37 car, they'll get a little bit more free.
So that's 9th, 10th, and 11th there. We look farther ahead to the top 8. And there's the gap. Riding with Jason Keller, last weekend's winner at Milwaukee. His race is not going as planned right now.
No, he's going the wrong way. He's back in the 21st position, started 11th. Has lost 10 spots. And David Green, who was so well, was up in the 11th spot just a moment ago, he's fallen back to 20th, right in front of Jason Keller.
A couple of guys whose handling is going south here as they put some more laps in this long green run to start the race. Jason Keller, we get a report on him from Matt.
He's dropped all the way back to 21st down. Basically says the car is just way too tight. It's bogging down the motors off the corner. It's just killing him. That's why he's fading so quickly. A lot of momentum coming into this race, hoping to make a big gain in the points, but you never can tell. This race has a lot of dramatic endings. Maybe we'll have another one tonight. Today.
Time by, still
37 of David Green, guys. He radioed in and told his guys that it was sliding the nose on the exit of the corner. So as he turns the wheel, it still wants to go straight toward the wall.
You know, looks like the 57 car BP may be tight in or at the center, because he goes in, he drifts up to the middle, not to hold the wheel to try to bog the car down, and then kind of diamonds it.
Yeah, he's trying to use the bank to make the car going around the corner so he doesn't have to put so much wheel into it. Last night during Winston Cup qualifying, we saw Ricky Rudd come off turn 4. The car picked up that slide, that push in the front end, and the speed just dropped considerably on that 21 car. And that's what happens as you come off the corner. If you got to put a lot of wheel into it, just kills the speed
Watch
down.
the RPMs go down.
I mentioned that David Keith, Brad Teague, and Jeff Fuller have taken their cars to the garage area with mechanical problems early in this race. And Larry Hollenbeck, who we saw have a moment off turn 2 in the early laps, just came down pit road for some fresh tires. NASCAR on TNT from Daytona International Speedway. The NASCAR Busch Series running the Winn-Dixie 250 tonight. Dale Earnhardt Jr. leads. You can also follow this weekend's racing live online with NASCAR.com's free track pass weekend. For more information, just log on to NASCAR.com.
On board with Casey Kane, currently running in 5th position. That's 4th. Brian Vickers directly in front of him. These guys are about a 1.25 seconds behind that fellow on the left, Dale Earnhardt Jr.
And he is starting to spread that opening group out just a little bit. What are we thinking pit strategy-wise? Marty?
Well, that's Kevin Mannion, the crew chief for Dale Earnhardt Jr. What are you thinking pit strategy-wise? When will you come down pit road, Kevin?
Well, it looks like right now we're going to come down right at halfway. The weather looks a little iffy, but we just looked at the radar and it looks good, so halfway.
Saw you planning some strategy with some guys. Who will you pit with?
Well, just that lead group. It looks like 7 or 8 of us in there. A couple of them have come down. Halfway is a safe bet for everyone, so we'll go with that.
One of the few concerns for the team was the weather. They actually looked it up on the internet right behind the pit box. Matt?
The weather is a concern here for Michael Waltrip and Bobby Kennedy. Has that forced your hand on when you are going to pit now?
Yeah, we're looking at coming a little bit different than we originally planned, just, because of the weather. But still, us and the 8, we're going to stay together. Right now, we're going to at least get past halfway before we come.
Still the 2-tire strategy?
It's hard to say. Our car's not handling perfect, and we've got to take that much fuel, so it might be 4.
Alan?
And don't forget, folks, these cars use a 22-gallon gas tank, not the small 13-gallon tank that the Winston Cup cars use. So, yes, they will put 2 full cans in these cars.
But you think if the weather is coming, I wouldn't. They're talking about putting 4 tires on. There'll probably some guys that are definitely going to take 2 tires. But I don't know about this weather. I don't know how close the weather is.
Yeah, talking about the weather in Florida in the summertime, you get a shower pop up and move across the radar quickly, and it can also dissipate quickly. So crew chief's keeping a concerned eye on that. And remember the NASCAR rule, once the leader has completed half the scheduled distance, if the race is stopped, it might not get restarted. Junior leads, pit stops shortly. Caution is out, there's a crash.
And Mike Bliss goes down pit road, hits pit wall. The crew scramble around, but no one was making a pit stop.
Mike Bliss was running 7th at the time of the crash.
And maybe Larry Hollenbeck was the other car involved.
See Mike moving around in the car. He's already dropped the window net, moved the steering wheel.
All right, you still want to stay? We'll stay that same deal there, Mikey.
Sound like Bobby Kennedy talking to his driver, Michael Waltrip.
So caution is out for the first time, just past 100 miles in the race. Mike Bliss started 5th in the race. He's going to have a very poor finish as he unstraps.
Yeah, there's Larry Hollenbeck in the 62 car going around and around, and I don't know what caused, unless Bliss had backed off, avoid the spinning car, and someone hit him in the back. Well, thank goodness no one's making a pit stop.
Oh, Hollenbeck got loose and
got into Bliss as he was going by to put him a lap down.
that would explain the apparent anger with which Mike tossed the steering wheel onto the dashboard when we were looking at him a second ago.
Well, that's unusual to get taken out like that.
Watch these crews scramble. I don't blame them.
You know, there's kind of a rule at the racetrack. Never look away from the race cars.
I think they're exchanging recipes there.
I guess he's telling the Busch official that should do something about the 62 car would be my guess.
Mike running 6th at the time of the crash. He's going to finish probably 39th or 40th from the way things are shaking up here. Under caution for the first time in the race after Mike Bliss got tangled up with a lap car off turn 4. The leaders have just finished pit stops.
Yeah, we're watching 99 when he comes in. This is just a disadvantage of just changing 2 tires sometimes, BP, because 99 gets in and is pit stall great. He's real aggressive, but he locks the front tire. Now, if you lock the left front tire, the tire that they did not change, that tire may have a little bit of a flat spot on it.
And he would pick up a vibration, and if it is flat spotted, it eventually would blow out.
And how about Dale Jr.'s pit stop? Listen and watch.
Get the right front tire and look at it, see if I flat spotted it coming into the pits. Just look at it real good, real good.
See, the left front's locked.
He did lock the left front, so there's a good chance that Michael did as well.
Earnhardt Jr. on pit road first. Marty?
Well, Dale Earnhardt Jr. very explicit on the radio. Wanted to know if you flat spotted the tires. Are you concerned? Did you see anything on the left front? Or the right front, sorry.
The right front had a little wear in it from sliding in, but left front tire has a little more weight on it, but I think it'll be fine.
And he radioed in and also said, it feels like the front shocks or something's wrong there. What could that be, possibly?
I think what it is, the chassis is just a little bit tight, and it's just he panics about a few things and makes me worry anyhow, but I'm not too worried. He'll be fine.
Get paid big money because they get to worry the whole night long, Dave Burns.
And Joe Nemechek guys get paid big money because they came in and did a second pit stop during this round. They opened up the hood, they opened up the radiator box, reached in and pounded out the front grille just a little bit. They were penalized on pit road for having an 8th man over the wall. That's one too many, but it didn't matter because they were under caution.
Looks like they've done a pretty good job repairing the grill area on that 87 car.
Those pit stops came with 56 laps to go, so everybody in theory is good to go to the finish on fuel from there.
That would be my guess, that we will not see these cars back on pit road unless there's just something terribly wrong with the chassis or a flat tire, something like that.
Yeah, that 2 car is looking, I think, pretty good, sitting there with 4 brand new tires on right now after seeing those pit stops.
And the 2 car was really good. Talking about Ron Horner today, he was running 3rd when all this started. He had closed up, had caught these guys, so everything's looking pretty good. Started 7th.
Making his 100th NASCAR Busch Series start tonight is Ron Hornaday. Dale Earnhardt Jr. leads. Michael Waltrip 2nd, Ron Hornaday 3rd, Casey Kane 4th, Brian Vickers 5th, followed by Greg Biffle, Jamie McMurray, Todd O'Ryan, Mike Wallace, and Shane Meal. The first one a lap down in 26th position, trying to get back around Dale Jr. without much success. Matt, got to follow up on Michael Waltrip for us.
Well, concerning fuel, Bobby Kennedy told Mark Parrish, the gas man, to make sure he packed the fuel so full as long as he could, but they should be good to go on fuel. And Ron Hornaday's team, Alan, they didn't really want to over-adjust that car. That's why they made the slight air pressure adjustment to try to fix the car. He said it just felt like it was floating in the nose a little.
Well, so much for all the cars in a line, right, Wally? We're back after caution flag, and it's side by side again.
A couple of things. Mike Bliss checked and released from the Infield Medical Center. And Joe Nemechek was assessed a penalty for too many men over the wall on his recent stop. Dave?
Mike Bliss's guys are working on his car. Are you going to get back in this thing?
I don't know. They're going to do all they can. We've had so many DNFs lately, it's just pitiful. But we had a fast race car out there. That thing, we got skunked by Hornaday, and we had a fast car. I think it was handling great, and these lap guys are crazy. I'm telling you, they are crazy. You don't know where in the heck they're going to be. Go to the outside of the guy, give him 3/4 of the lane in the bottom, and I get hit in the left rear. I don't understand. If I'm running around there trying to stay out of the way, I'm going to give the guys lanes. They're not doing it. It's just crazy.
All right, Mike looks like he may get back in. He was working with Joe Nemechek to try to get his car in front. He actually did pass him, and they were going to work together to try to catch that lead pack. Now it's for naught.
Yeah, Bliss a little upset. We could see that when he was yelling to the Busch Series official down there, telling him about the lap cars.
It's been an issue throughout a lot of the NASCAR Busch Series season. In some of the tougher economic times, maybe some of the cars at the back of the field are not of the quality that they were when times were better and sponsorships were more available. the experience level of some of those drivers perhaps not what it was either, and the front-running drivers have been critical at times of some of these drivers and their behavior on the track.
I agree, but these guys got to learn someplace, and you know, when they don't have 38 or 39 cars, they can bring a car down and run Daytona. So that's when I came down here for the first time. I didn't have a clue what I was doing, but I somehow survived. Man, these guys are putting a little heat on Junior right now.
It looks like it. Looks like they're taking a look.
This is on board with Casey Kane. He's currently in 4th. 38 car. He started on the outside pole.
There you got Hornadays. I think Hornadays is going to take a run at these guys if he can get some help behind him. If Casey will stick with him.
Hey, how about Jamie McMurray up on the outside? Drives up on the outside of Casey Kane. Biffle decides to go with him, and here comes Todd Bodine on the bottom of the racetrack.
That's McMurray in the 1 car for James Finch, team owner out of Panama City Beach, Florida, whose equipment always runs.
Go 3 wide. Mike Wallace takes a look.
Boy, Mike Wallace in that car. He can find a way to the front on at a super speedway.
Ryan Vickers had his hands full there. He bounced all over the place.
Still 3 wide.
Now we get back to it.
Casey Kane trying to break away from the side of Jamie McMurray.
Damon Lusk and that 6 car is in the top 10 right now. Hanging in there.
Tommy Baldwin racing entry.
Oh, Biffle almost got the wall on that Kleenex car off turn 4.
Boy, that is tight right there.
That's 4th and 5th between the 38 and the 1. And everything stacked up behind them. On forward, Greg Biffle.
Is that the 5 car? He's looking back at Ryan Vickers. Oh, close to that wall. Now that was Damon Lusk is right behind Greg Biffle. The blue car with the red front bumper.
Damon Lusk, 25-year-old out of Kennewick, Washington. Came up through the NASCAR Southwest Series, one of the NASCAR touring divisions. Ran a couple of ARCA seasons part-time. Started the NASCAR Busch Series racing, sharing a car with Wally.
Yeah.
Last year, Tommy Baldwin racing.
He's doing a good job right now.
And Damon works on the car during the week. He's a mechanic as well as a driver.
Dale Earnhardt Jr., Michael Waltrip, 1st and 2nd as they have been through the entirety of this race so far, but they are mixing it up hot and heavy from 3rd on back as Jamie McMurray and Greg Biffle try and make a push toward the front of the pack.
Yeah, McMurray's showing a little bit of muscle here.
McMurray in the 1, Biffle in the 7. It's Ron Hornay in the 2 they're working on. Bill Weber's down at the wagon. He's got company.
Thank you, Alan. Enjoying the race with Kurt Busch, who starts 31st in the Pepsi 400 tomorrow. You watching this as a fan or a driver?
Tonight we're a fan, just hanging out. I mean, it's a great scene to watch these cars at night. And my little brother races in the Busch Series. We're more of a spectator than. Yeah, so it's interesting watching the 2-tire versus 4-tire.
What do you think?
I think Hornaday had the upper hand. What it looks like is you see the cars, they're dicing back and forth to try to see who's going to position themselves to run at the 8 and the 99. What they need to do is work on getting those 2 out of there so that then they can race each other.
That's hard to do, though. Those guys are strong.
It seems like they have a superior car all the time.
How about locking up that right front versus the left?
I would say that the left front is going to be a little bit harder to lock up because you're turning to the right at that point on pit road. So it is a concern, but I'd have to say the upper hand is in a Hornaday spot right now.
Some of these cars have been all over the place tonight.
Yeah, it's this track. I mean, the heat here has been intense all week. But with a Busch car, the draft is less violent than what it is with the Cup car. So we'd have to take 4 tires. There would really be no option. But I think tomorrow night you're going to see 2-tire, 4-tire scramble. It'll be interesting.
Are you going to see anybody catch those Chevys at the front of the field tomorrow night?
I'm going to be the first Ford up there rowing my boat and see what we can do. It's a fun racetrack to drive, and I think tomorrow night it's really going to be a neat race because of the fact of how handling, I think, is going to be a bit more in the forefront than what it's normally been.
You think so?
I think so. Because of the heat. And there's going to be a lot of teams going with 2 tires and seeing if they can handle out there.
Some wild action, huh, Wally?
Yeah, sorry, guys.
That's okay, man. We got to cover them out there.
Loose up before there.
It looks just like they need to get back in line to catch up with the 8 and 99. But, you know, a lot of young drivers that want to get up to the front and show their mark. It's a good race.
I remember Kurt Busch was that young guy trying to make his mark. Don't you, Bill?
I sure do. It's been fun. Like Damon Lusk, we were talking about him earlier. Southwest Series. I mean, you just boom, boom, and the next thing you know, you're at Daytona. I mean, it's a wonderful treat to try to come out and compete with the best of the best, the veterans, and you know Dale Jr. and Michael Waltrip are the ones to beat when you come to Daytona.
Hey, Weber, we saw Kurt Busch and Damon Lusk in Tucson in winter heat.
That's right. And we were just out in Vegas a couple of weeks ago with Kurt, reminiscing about that for a piece we're going to do later in the year. Those you started on that small track at Las Vegas. You really got some good laps in Tucson and worked your way right up, didn't you?
It's a challenge. I mean, just the way that NASCAR has set up a stepladder system, it's really unique. They've got over 12 different divisions, all the different regional touring series, and of course, getting my break in the truck series with Jack Roush to run. First time I ever showed up here, I didn't know what to do. I just got my foot on the floor and ended up finishing second.
And guys, was he excited in that truck race here, the first? Kurt, you were very exciting.
It was neat. I mean, just the whole Daytona theme. I mean, I was here when I was 7 years old looking at the banking, and you get an appreciation for the place once you finally drive it. It's intimidating, that's to say the least.
And you never lose it. I mean, I don't care how many times you run here, when you run this place, it's like, man, this is cool. This place is cool.
You get that grin on your face.
It's just awesome walking in, isn't it?
It is.
Well, you got to come from 31st tomorrow. You think you can do it?
I'm watching Nemechek right now. You know, I'm a little biased to Nemechek. He's my little brother's car owner in the series. He's working his way up. He's been having to dig out of that little hole that came in to repair the nose, and he's making headway.
All right. Well, thanks for stopping by. We appreciate your time. Best of luck tomorrow.
All right, guys.
Kurt Busch does start 31st tomorrow. Steve Park and Kevin Harvick will lead him to the green flag in the Pepsi 400.
There are the leaders, as they have been for the distance so far. Happy July 4th. NASCAR on TNT watching Dale Earnhardt Jr. dominate so far. Tonight's 250-miler. We are just past the 150-mile mark. And Junior's led them all so far.
Yep, these guys are going to have to do something, BP, if they're going to beat them. They lost their chance of getting in front during the pit stop. And they better not wait till 5 to go, or they're going to waste their time on that one.
All right, we've had a chance to crack the knuckles and get the fingers loose, and it is time, ladies and gentlemen, to put our pit reporters to work. It's time for Through the Field.
All right.
Crack the whip and get an update on the field. Where are we starting down on pit road? Marty, how about you?
Just don't crack that whip too hard, Alan. 34 laps to go in the race, 66 laps in the books. And Dale Earnhardt Jr., that 8 car, has led every single one of these laps. In fact, in the his last two races here, he's led 126 of 240 laps. The car is very good, Matt.
The questions, though, for Michael Waltrip and his team, the weather and the 4 tires of Ron Hornaday. Michael says the car is great. They're riding. The biggest concern when they need to make their move. Meanwhile, Ron Hornaday's team, they can't believe other people didn't. They're just riding, going to save their stuff until the end. When the 99 and 8s tires are worn out, Dave, they feel like they're going to make their move then.
Matt, Jamie McMurray's car has run great everywhere all day. It was a little bit loose in, a little bit tight off near the end of that first run, but not bad. They made a 4-tire change, changed the air pressure just a little. Marty?
Dave, Greg Biffle's doing a great job in that 7 car up in the 5th position, running very good. He said he likes the top line. Problem is, he can't find anybody else who does like that top line, Matt.
Young Casey Kane making his 4th restrictor plate start. Remember back in Daytona in February, finished 8th. Had not the greatest of race at Talladega, but coming back here, running in the top 5, just learning today, Marty.
Mike Wallace back in the 7th position, took 4 tires on the last stop, made no adjustments, has said nothing about the car, biding his time. Mike Wallace is an excellent drafter. Remember, he finished 4th here in the Busch Series race in February. Todd Bodine right behind him, very happy with his race car. His crew chief, Tony Liberati, said, "You're awesome. The changes were great." Todd said, "This car will absolutely drive," Dave.
Marty, after that initial scare on the opening lap where he locked up the tires, Johnny Sauter's car has run pretty well. A little bit loose in, a little bit tight off the corner. They made a wedge adjustment and an air pressure adjustment on the last stop as Casey Kane spins.
6th place runner in trouble.
Whoa, don't go that way.
Hold the brakes on.
Hey, I'll tell you what.
Come on, come on.
Oh, no! He had everything was under control till that last little bit. He makes contact with the outside retaining wall.
So everybody behind him did a good job avoiding that. Again.
Caution's out, 2nd time in the race, 32 laps to go.
Get back up on the asphalt. Just take your time. Don't knock the fenders off of it.
And the 6th place runner in trouble off turn 2.
I don't think they have to worry much about the fenders being knocked off.
sure.
Okay, just easy now. Got some flats that have knocked the fenders completely off.
Casey started second tonight. He also started second in the Talladega race back in April. Got caught in a big early wreck. Only finished 8 laps.
He got loose, and as soon as he got loose, he went up the track. It sucked me right with him. I got off the gas and everything, and it just carried right into his door.
All right, well, let's find out who he was.
Is that Biffle? I think that's Greg Biffle in the 7 car. And watch this. He goes up, and the car barely gets by, and he just makes a little contact with the rear. It's okay. He's going forward, but Wally, he stood on it too quickly.
Yes, you're right.
The wheels were not straight, and he stood on the accelerator and drove it in the wall.
You're right.
And then did the same thing again and drove it back across the track again in front of everybody.
I think what he was talking about is I can't really get it there, but the 7 car Biffle, like he said, got loose, and he was real close to the 7 car. Sucked the rear of the car around.
And look at those guys going by in the grass on the racetrack. And watch this thing shoot back across the racetrack.
That thing went
And
fast.
McLaughlin on, and watch it here. He nails the gas to go again, but the wheels were not straight.
Yeah. Got behind on the steering.
Pit stops under this caution. The front few stay on track. 6th, make it 5th place. Greg Biffle on down is in. Marty?
And they did indeed make a little bit of contact with Casey Kane. That is the thought. They do make a wedge adjustment on the car, or make that a track bar adjustment rather. They're going to change 4 tires. They wanted to check the body, make sure there was no real damage. Does not appear to be any real damage on Greg Biffle's car.
Little trouble there in left rear.
Yep.
Yeah, that cost him a few spots.
So now you got some tires with some cars with some real fresh tires on them compared to a couple of guys up front.
Dale Jr., Michael Waltrip, Ron Hornaday, Jamie McMurray, they do not pit. They stay on track and hold down the top 4 spots. We're under caution with 30 laps to go here at Daytona, under yellow after Greg Biffle got loose and Casey Kane went for a wild ride. There's the restart line.
Somewhere in the area. Now, it's not specifically at that spot, but somewhere around there. All right, the pace car is coming down. He's off the racetrack. Okay, anywhere. Junior can start anywhere now, and he's on it.
Green.
Looks like Jamie McMurray laid back a little bit.
And Hornaday got a great start, but unfortunately, Kerry Earnhardt in the 12 car was down there. But Hornaday's going to try it on the outside, but with no one to help him.
Well, I think that 1 car is going to catch him pretty quick. If they stay in line.
Hornaday does not have any help right now.
They need to stay in line. These guys need to stay on the outside.
Look at Junior move to the inside to give Michael the draft. And here comes Jamie McMurray to help Ron Hornaday.
And Kerry Earnhardt right behind him. And Michael has no one now. There's no one with Michael.
Now me and Jamie will come down with Michael. We'll be fine here.
And Hornaday goes to 2nd spot.
That's a lot of work to pick up 1 spot.
Yes, it is.
So Ron Hornaday to 2nd, separating Earnhardt Jr. and Michael Waltrip for the first time all race.
Now Ron's going to find out who his friends are.
Oh, some trouble!
Big hit there.
What? They didn't crash 6 cars? How is that possible?
Been a lot of bullets dodged tonight.
I can't believe that.
May not be done yet. Hang on.
Hey, look at Michael going back by Hornaday on the outside. Is his car that strong?
Well, obviously he may have shown his hand right there.
Yeah.
He did that without any help.
Yes.
That's got to leave you feeling pretty hopeless if you're Hornaday.
Yeah, really.
All right, let's go back and check out what happened on that restart. Heading down towards turn 1. Right in the middle of the screen.
right. I can't tell who that is, but
Kevin, 26 car is Kevin Grubb, the maroon car.
That's the 30 car, I believe, of Lance Norrie. Wrong racing car.
And Lance is on pit road now, coming to his stop.
who was that turn to? Was that Bobby Hamilton?
That was 26, Kevin Grubb.
Oh, Grubb, okay.
There see Norrie, and we see the damage to the right side, and
you can see right there in the right rear part of the bumper, that's where he got touched by Kevin Grubb.
Remember in last July's Pepsi 400, the Winston Cup race, Michael Waltrip was leading, Dale Jr. was behind him, and Jr. in the late laps pulled out to try and pass for the win. He wound up 6th at the checkered flag.
but just how strong is Michael Waltrip's car? I don't think any of us has any idea. We saw him pass Hornaday by himself on the outside.
A little wild as they thrash for some positions in these closing laps. That's Todd Ryan in the 92 there. Being chased. And we go back up front to the leaders as they come to 6 laps to go.
Yeah, this group of cars behind the top 6 or 7 cars, they'll be lucky to get to the checkered flag without somebody crashing.
Ashton Lewis there with the block.
Ooh, that was close.
Brian Vickers pops out of line in this lead group. Scott Riggs fills the hole to his outside in the yellow car. That's not going to work out for either one of them.
And Hornaday lost a spot. Jamie McMurray's gone to 3rd spot. McMurray quick in that Dodge.
As these guys behind are running side by side, it doesn't help because they'll probably lose this pack of 5 cars right now.
We were all watching this second group bouncing off each other going off into turn 1.
And that time by Joey Clanton in the 27 car, who's currently running in the 11th position, and Greg Biffle bounced off each other at the start-finish line.
5-car lead group. Earnhardt Jr., Michael Waltrip, Jamie McMurray, Ron Hornaday, and now Johnny Sauter.
And Vickers and Riggs tried to make that move, what, 1 lap ago?
Yep.
And now they're about a second behind this top 5 cars.
Let's go back and show you how Jamie McMurray got 3rd spot.
Man, he had a great run.
Biffle, trouble off turn 4. What was that you said about the second pack not making it to the checkers?
Well,
Go. Stay low, go.
No caution yet. The caution flag is not out yet. We stay under green. The cars have all driven away. NASCAR talking by radio as I monitor their communications with their spotters in turn 4.
With it right now, so we're in good shape.
They say all clear. We stay under green.
Good call.
all right, Michael is backing up a little bit, trying to get a run on Junior. I don't think he wants to wait till the last lap. Here he comes. Oh, Junior comes down the block.
3 laps to go.
Back
Junior going up the racetrack just a little bit. Michael Waltrip pinned right to the bottom.
If Michael lays back a little bit, these guys see what Michael's doing. They may be able to take a run at him, but that's going to be about the only shot.
One car's got to get right up on Michael for him to get to be able to help him, though.
They all have to do the same thing at the same time.
Yeah. Looking back from Dale Jr.'s car to Michael Waltrip. 2 laps to go now. 5 miles left at Daytona. Ron Hornaday looks inside. McMurray blocks. Waltrip stays in front of all of them. Jr., what are you doing? Are you trying to keep Michael from getting too far back and too much of a run, or you're just keeping your foot down and...
Foot down at this point. You know, Dale Jr. is looking out the rear mirror as much as he is the windshield right now, that's for sure.
And what about Michael?
Yeah, Michael's doing everything he can. I mean, he's got the gas pedal mashed too, but he just doesn't have a shot unless even with the 3 or 4 cars behind him, they can't seem to make a run. I mean, Michael's doing everything he can.
And the white flag is up. Final lap at Daytona.
And Junior just not let Michael get right behind him. He keeps moving around on the racetrack. Michael is on the outside of him, inside of him. He can't get a good pull on the 8 car.
Yeah, he's breaking that draft as much as he can.
And the cars behind him just aren't able to push him hard enough to get to Junior. What you got here is a case of the fastest car pulling the pack around. Half a lap to go.
Was that Michael just said, I can't get up to him?
Yeah. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is going to lead every lap on July 4th at Daytona, his 4th consecutive NASCAR Busch Series restrictor plate win and his 3rd in 3 tries this season. Earnhardt Jr. takes the Winn-Dixie 250.
Feeling a shower was coming. Michael tried everything he could behind you. A, were you watching him? And B, how did you keep him behind you?
Well, just had a strong car. Richie Gilmore built a great engine. He knows how to build them to go around this place, that's for sure. And just a great body from the fab shop at DEI, all those guys. I mean, they're the reason that these cars here, run so good here. They're the sole reason. These guys put a good setup underneath it. It's good drive ball all night long, and just hung in there. I tried to help Michael when he needed help, and he helped me. But there at the end, it was 1-on-1 or 1-on-43, whatever you want to say.
Explain to us the flag. Is that the new logo for the Dirty Mo Posse?
No, we just wanted to be bad for a night, just be tough. And these guys that are working on this team are all inspired crew members and stuff that have came from other jobs that weren't Sunday jobs. These guys, hardly half of them never even went to the racetrack till we started this team. And it's kind of a developmental program, and I enjoy their energy, so I let them pretty much do whatever they want. And we came up with this paint scheme and everything, and I let them get away with a few things. I was wanting to run the American flag around there since it's the 4th and all, but I guess they didn't have one of them ready. That'd been nice.
Can we see an encore tomorrow night, Junior?
We're going to give it a shot. We got a great car again. Probably better than this one, but the field's a little bit tougher than that one, so we'll just see how it works out. I got a little celebrating to do, and hopefully we'll have more to do tomorrow.
It's a great wire-to-wire win for Dale Earnhardt Jr., but with his 7th-place finish, Scott Riggs takes over the Busch Series points lead, just 2 points better than former leader David Green, and Ron Hornaday moves up 1 spot, taking over 3rd place in the standings. Here's your final running order: Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Winston Cup teammate Michael Waltrip, 1 and 2. Winston Cup rookie Jamie McMurray. Solid finish, and Ron Hornaday's best finish ever at Daytona, a 4th-place finish. Mike Wallace came in at position number 13. Jason Keller behind him at number 14. Corey Gibbs, good finish for the MBNA Pontiac at number 17. And Joe Nemechek brings his number 87 car in at 18th, just ahead of Stacy Compton. Bobby Hamilton Jr., 22nd on this evening, followed by Greg Biffle. And Lance Noor comes in 31st. Kerry Earnhardt, a disappointing 33rd place finish for him. And Casey Kane, who started on the front row, wound up 38th.